is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Hey, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Omar Kelly. How you doing, baby? You doing all right?
I'm good, man. How you been?
Good. Can't complain. By the way, the owners have approved the overtime rule change. So both teams will get a possession now. Both teams will now be guaranteed a possession in overtime in the playoffs before the game becomes sudden death. I like that move. I'm all right with that because I forgot who it was I saw that made a great point. All the rules are made for the offense. So if you have a coin flip and you win, you know, the chances of winning the game are so enormous. I don't have a problem giving the other team an opportunity to score. And then after that, it becomes sudden death. I think that's a good change. How about you? How do you look at it?
I don't care. I favor the Texas tiebreaker. And some reason the NFL and it worked in high school. It works in college. Why would
I see.
In the NFL?
Right. Okay.
It is what it is. I really don't care.
Right.
We go through these meetings and changes and rules and whatever, bro.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it is a change that obviously it's been a factor in playoff games the last couple of years. So although it's what Mike Tomlin says, look, I don't fear, overtime. You had 60 minutes to decide the game. After that, whatever happens.
But then you let a coin flip decide it?
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's super old school. He's like, hey, man, we had 60 minutes. If you lose a coin toss and you lose the game, it is what it is.
Well, what I hate is games that end in ties. There's no excuse for a tie.
The worst. Worst. Yes, I'm with you there. Make it sudden death, bro.
I hate games that end in ties in all sports.
I mean, soccer, I understand the way they have it with the points. Now, their championships never end that way. They're settled on the pitch. But during the season, I kind of get it because you run so damn much.
Yeah.
You can't keep running with 8 overtimes.
So we just don't have keep having a shootout until one guy.
Yeah, and trust me, somebody wins in the shootout. Eventually that's the advantages are too much to the shooter.
I mean, the fact that it had to be changed, or we want to pretend like it had to be changed. To me, the most significant thing is the changes they made to the Rooney Rule again.
Right.
Basically forcing the hiring of an offensive coach that works with the quarterback or the head coach, and now they're going to pay for it as a league. That's a step in the right direction. Maybe they'll all hire a young Pat White, and I only say that name because that's the young offensive mind coach who's out in the coaching ranks, who's a minority, who in 10 years can eventually become a head coach that I know of. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm only speaking about somebody that I personally know of. He goes from the HBCU ranks to come work for the Dolphins as a assistant quarterback coach, and then 10 years from now works his way up. That maybe that has an impact that's favorable. But yeah,
so Pat White's doing all that. Where's Pat White at? What HBCU school is he at?
You always ask me these questions that make me actually.
Well, damn it, you brought it up. I figured you would know right off the top of your head.
It's at one of the
hell. I thought Pat White was still on the floor, lying down with a concussion in that Pittsburgh practice.
Stop it.
I mean, game. I thought he never. I thought he still hadn't gotten up yet after all those years.
He's now a passing game coordinator at Campbell University. Where's Campbell University? He was at Alabama State. Where's Campbell University? I don't know.
I don't know. Do they sell soup there?
Stop it. Oh, he was at Alcorn State.
Alcorn State. Alphabet soup?
Hold on, damn. He might be at USF now.
Little chicken broth? Yeah, if they're going to sell soup, it should be chunky.
Oh, he joined the Chargers as the Bill Walsh diversity. Pat White, I don't know if I can keep up with how many moves Pat White has made.
There you go.
Well,
No, wait. Let me tell you what some fans have told me over the years. Oh, he must suck if he has all those jobs.
No, that he's at Campbell University. Where is Campbell University? I don't know. I'm
gonna guess in the Carolinas. Campbell University sounds like a place that would be in the Carolinas.
I wouldn't doubt you.
No, you should doubt me every time here on that one because I have no idea. Let me see. Let me look up Campbell University.
Campbell University is in North Carolina. Yeah.
That's right. What is it? Buze Creek, North Carolina. How about that? I don't know why it just sounded like a Carolina type school. Because it seems like Campbell, you have a little soup right by the river in Carolina somewhere and some, some valley somewhere. Yeah, that just kind of makes sense.
This doesn't yeah, I'm not liking this the way this looks.
He started so inspirational and then he ends up, I'm not liking this. Anyway,
they only played 4 games last year.
All right, don't worry about Pat White. He's still concussed right now. He probably doesn't even know he's in North Carolina. All right, so listen, let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that they talked about yesterday. By the way, did you enjoy having a coach that actually tells you what's going on? Like, hey, this guy's the starter, that guy's the backup, and no, we're not trading for Tom Brady. What the hell is that? Whereas the last guy would have kept all of that in the dark. So,
he said nothing. He said nothing. He talked for 30 minutes and said nothing. Don't get overexcited.
He cleared up the quarterback stuff for some of you that it wasn't clear enough.
I don't think it was ever unclear. Teddy Bridgewater.
For some it was. For some people it was. They thought Teddy was here to push him. They thought Teddy was here to take over. They thought Teddy was here.
Teddy's here to be Teddy Bridgewater, and Tua better not get injured or start to struggle. That's the bottom line.
That's fine. But you don't really think Teddy Bridgewater is saving anything, right? Because that's not what he does.
Teddy Bridgewater has proven that he's a competent NFL starting quarterback. I didn't say good. I said competent. And at this point in 22 years of this franchise's history, haven't we been searching for a competent starting quarterback?
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. You telling me A.J. Feely wasn't competent? How about your boy, Moore? Yeah, there you go. That's competent right there.
That might be the last competent. Chad Pennington, who fits into the competent category? Chad Pennington, Matt Moore.
Fiedler. I'm putting Fiedler in competent.
Fiedler, okay. We'd have to give it to Ryan Tannehill. He's competent.
Yeah. He's a game manager. Yes, definitely. If you can be a game manager, you can be competent.
This guy, and this is what I like about Mike McDaniel. Understand that both he and Chris Greer do not really talk about Tua. They purposely downplay any question that relates to Tua. And after covering my 7th coach and God knows how many regime changes, I know what that means. I know the play. That means we want to make sure we send a message to the team that this guy's not bigger than everybody else on the team. He's not more important than everybody else on the team. So whatever question you ask them about Tua, they'll flip it and turn it into something else.
And I can understand that. I can understand that because he hasn't gotten to the point yet where you make him Russell Wilson and you make him Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, that he is that special that you have to separate him from everybody like Marino. He hasn't gotten there yet, so you don't treat him that way. So I think that's the right way to go about it. I don't have a you have a problem with that? I don't have a problem.
I respect the hell out of it. It's kind of self-maintenance. It's like you don't talk up something that you don't really have a true understanding about. And it's true. He hasn't seen Tua throw one pass. So he doesn't know anything about Tua.
Right.
And Tua hasn't seen the offense. Neither has anybody else on the team. You know, I found it interesting they downplayed Tyreek Hill a little bit too. Not Greer, but McDaniel. He really said nothing, and that you know, props to him, because that's kind of what his job is. They go into these situations, and for 30 minutes, how, you know, can I not say anything that is the headline?
Hey, come on. How many people tell you when you ask them about the Brady rumor, they go fake news? I love that.
That was a walk-off question, and that was good. That was good.
That was good. That was great.
That was good.
Great.
He put his
Because
teeth
the
in
other
that.
guy wouldn't have given you anything on that. You know what I mean? You got nothing. At least he gave you something and closed the door.
Hey, he's not going on any yacht meetings with Tom Brady. That's all. That's not what he's not giving you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But I mean, at least I like that he doesn't leave you guys hanging, and then you're constantly guessing what the hell is going on.
You know what I really like and enjoy about this latest era of this organization? I really like talking to Greer, and I've talked to Greer a number of times, and just matter of factly, just clear, concise. There's no hidden agendas. There's no deceptive talking code. There's no, oh, I'm leaving this mystery out there.
He was, by the way, you could tell he was a little more open yesterday.
He's been open the last 2 times we've talked.
Yeah, you could tell that the flow influence getting out. They'll tell you they're not going to give anything away, but they'll at least.
Oh, he gave plenty away.
He'll tell you, Dieter. We've had you know.
He gave plenty away. He volunteered plenty of information. So
yeah.
And all of it benefits him. So, you know, he's playing the game a little bit better and smarter and wiser than he has in the past. Not to say that Flo didn't play the game or didn't know the game or understand the game. I just think that Greer is coming into his own as he's the head person in charge.
Well, he has to, doggy, because he screwed up with Flo. So he will not get a chance to screw up for a third coach. And he knows that. And so does Marvin Allen, so does Reggie McKenzie. They know they have to hit a home run here because this is their last chance. It's a blessing. It's a blessing that a minority gets a second opportunity to fix the problem, because normally they just push your ass right out the door with everybody else. And they go hire a whole new set of people. So they're very lucky, and I'm sure they know. And guess what? You nailed it. Greer figured out that if I don't come into my own and make my own decisions, I'm going to go down in flames.
Let's hope.
With somebody else making decisions.
Let's
so
hope.
If you're going to go down, but if you're going to go down in flames, go down doing it your way.
It's his personality to just be passive.
I know.
And let's just hope he figures that out. I want him to go down swinging. That's why the Tyreek Hill deal makes so much sense for him. Who cares what you pay for it? And who cares what you gave up for it? Like Tyreek Hill says, and so many other people say, F them picks. Like,
yeah. No. You've been saying that for a while, anyways.
I've said that
about trading the picks. About trading the picks. So,
and about draft picks.
The way he's acted with you guys in press conferences is different. Mike McDaniel clearly is different. The way they were aggressive this offseason is probably more aggressive than they would have been with the other guy. I'm sure they would have had to been aggressive because they needed players, and they had a lot of cap space. They had to go buy a bunch of players, but I don't know if they go as crazy for Tyreek Hill with the other guy in place. That's all I'm saying.
With what other guy? Oh, I don't like when people say that. I don't like when people say that. And here's why I don't like when people say that.
I'm going with track record.
Because the other guy aggressively tried to get an elite quarterback despite 22 civil suits and claims of sexual assault while he had a quarterback.
But that's because he hated the guy that he had, and he never wanted him even on draft day. That's the part that pisses me off about Flo the most, is he wants to be known as Mr. Honesty, and he doesn't even have the balls to say publicly, yeah, I never wanted to. And he does not admit that. And to me, that's where you lose all credibility, dude. If you want to be known as Mr. Honesty,
there's nobody who will ever do that. There's
Say it.
nobody who will ever do that.
Say it. Say you never believed in the kid. But there's nothing wrong, Omar, with saying I don't believe in the kid.
Give me 1 second. I apologize.
You never have to apologize, bro. Go ahead. By the way, follow Omar on Twitter at Omar Kelly, and make sure you subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel. That's where he does his work for now. Every day there on the South Florida Sun Sentinel. So make sure you subscribe there and follow my man Omar Kelly. And we'll finish here with Omar and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. I have Eric coming over from EJD Construction today so he could give me an estimate on my destroyed house here, my wall. So, we can get the ball rolling with the insurance
sorry
and all
about
that. So I have Eric actually coming on over today. Eric's coming over today.
Oh, what's he going to do?
Well, I mean, I had 3 kids thinking they were Fast and Furious and destroyed the side of my house, the wall, and all that stuff. So I
Racing?
Well, they were doing tricks and whatever, because the street I live on, it has a stretch of like 8 blocks with no light. So then they race up and down the street all the time, and these idiots were doing donuts and all that, and they lost control, and they went right into my house, into my wall and all that, and destroyed the hell out of it, dude. Yeah.
I hope nobody got hurt, but yeah.
My dogs would have been dead. Maiden would have died if she was there in the backyard running around at that moment. Luckily, we were all inside because none of our dogs are outside. They're all inside.
They lost control. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
this young generation. I see it's not far from me. It's like they have I don't know why my neighborhood is one of those neighborhoods where they street race and do donuts, but like I don't know what makes a neighborhood that neighborhood.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what makes it. I guess you have to have space. So
yeah.
I get it. If there's space, then we can do it. But then again, look at all these spring break areas, and they've got all kinds of guns. It's like, dude, when I went spring break, I was thinking of 2 things: drinking and getting laid. Guns, fighting, none of that was in my agenda. I just wanted to go have some fun.
So you're saying people bring guns to spring break?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. They're confiscating all kinds of guns everywhere. Daytona, Panama City, Miami, you name it.
How are you going to confiscate a gun from me?
Well, they arrest you and you have it on your car or whatever, because usually the idiots that have guns are doing stupid things that bring even more attention to them. You and me that are normal people at spring break, we don't bring attention to ourselves. We're just having our beer. We got our shades on. We're trying to find a honey to talk to, and that's it. That's spring break for us, dude.
Honestly, my dad don't travel without his gun, so maybe this is their mindset too. I don't know. I can't.
Dude, spring break? Come on, bro. You're a kid in college. You don't need to have a gun, bro. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of the guys that were caught here weren't even spring breakers. They were just young kids with guns, but hanging out with the other kids.
Right,
so, so it's kind of one of those things, but it's an element that's mixed in, which I don't understand, dude. I had I was thinking of the wet t-shirt contest. I was thinking of meeting a honey, drinking with the fellas, obviously drinking, swimming,
a good
sleeping,
dinner?
Good dinner, good lunch. That's it. That was spring break, bro. That was a successful and ass-kicking spring break for me.
Yeah.
Do I want to be arrested or have a gun or anything like? These are things I don't understand at all, man. By the way, okay, so Barry wrote about about Philly being interested in Devante Parker. He also mentioned that maybe Green Bay and Indy might be interested in Parker. We talked to Rap Sheet earlier today. Ian Rappaport was joining us. He hasn't heard even Philly as a specific team being interested in Devante Parker. So I ask you now. First of all, I'm shocked that they're going to be able to trade him. But have you heard anybody who's
Why?
I thought he was so injury prone. I didn't think anybody would even give up a 6-pack of paper.
You know he's the longest tenured Dolphin, which is weird to me to even.
No, I know, and he's productive when healthy.
Yeah,
he can play. He can play. I know.
I'm ready for them to move on from Devante for this reason. Well, I will tell you why it would be good to hold on to Devante, and then I'll tell you why I think it's necessary for them to move on from Devante. I think it would be important for them to hold on to Devante because he's one of the few guys who's played in a West Coast offense twice. He played under Gase and he played under Philbin. I honestly didn't even know that both were West Coast offenses because they were so bad that I couldn't figure it out.
It's a short passing. It's a short passing game, quick passing game. So yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
his game suits the quick passing game, especially on the slants of the West Coast offense. But the problem with Devante, and this is why I would say it's time to move on, is I think Devante's had such troubles with his durability and inability to practice. He's a poor route runner. Poor. Not bad, not mediocre. He's a poor route runner. Devante is literally never open. Now, he still wants you to throw him the ball and throw it to tight coverage.
Because he has the body for it. Yeah, he has the body that will catch it in traffic. Can I add something to you?
Yes.
I think you get rid of Devante Parker because you can make Mike Gesicki play the same role. That's why I would get rid of Devante Parker in this offense.
I hear what you're saying.
Those things.
Mike Gesicki has no quickness. Mike Gesicki can't quick. Not that Devante's doing it.
Yeah, but their size, doggy. They're both big targets. That's how they make a living. Arande had no speed either, but he was going across, and once he bodies your ass, you're not getting around Arande.
Isn't going to body anybody. Not to say that
at 6'3", 6'4" that you are, most DBs have to get around you in the length. It's hard. If you know how to use your body to shield from the defender, it doesn't matter how thick you are. It matters how long you are and the technique that you use. He can do that easily.
I don't think they'll get rid of him because, based on what my translation of what Greer was saying, which is, we're always listening. We're always listening. I don't think anybody's offering him a 4. And as long as nobody's offering him a 4, he'd rather keep Devante for his $6 million and change.
Right. And the only thing I would tell you on that is you're keeping a guy you're not going to start. You're keeping a guy that is a bench receiver now, and he does not help you on special teams. I'm not sure how it benefits you.
That's not fair. That's not all. Those are all valid points. But I throw this caveat to you.
Okay.
You've been decimated by injuries for the last 3 years at receiver. No matter who you have on the team to start.
Okay.
Now, Devante is part of the injury core. So,
And they were injury-prone guys that you're talking about. Albert Wilson, Fuller. These are all Waddle is not an injury-prone guy. He had an injury, and hell, he not only overcame the injury because he came in with a little bit of a pimp with a limp, and he overcame the pimp with the limp, and he came out and was straight out pimping for the rest of the year. And Tyreek isn't an injury-prone guy, and Cedric isn't really considered an injury-prone guy right now. So maybe you've kind of changed your receiving core room.
Yeah, and also I hate when people I'm a big believer in you put them out there on the field and you let the production speak for who they are and what they're going to do. Anybody who comes into this situation and say Cedric Wilson is going to outperform Devante Parker, you have no foresight or understanding.
Well, we don't know that yet. Yeah.
You don't know that yet. So Devante Parker has accomplished 4 times more than Cedric Wilson's accomplished in his career.
Although you can say athletically, to follow up on what you were talking about, Cedric is going to do the things they need him to do, speed, routes, all those kind of things.
Yes.
To help that offense and complement the other guys. Whereas Parker's not going to be able to do that. And that, while the accomplishment, you're right. But on the other side, what is the fit? The other guy.
I don't now, mind you, this receiving coach or these offensive coordinators or these coaches, they're new, they're different, they're unique. They're going to coach these guys different. But I don't think anybody can coach Devante to be the receiver that Tua needs, and Tua needs you to get open. And if that's not going to be his game, then I would say it makes sense to move you for the right price, which to me would be a 4th-round pick.
Yeah, I kind of like what you're saying, and I said the same thing that they're probably hanging on to a 4th, but they're probably going to have to settle for a 5 or a 6 eventually. Because especially when they get into the draft and where they're picking, they may find a receiver slash returner that they
I
may
think
like.
teams are offering them a Eric Flowers like deal, which is okay. You give us your player, and we'll take a draft pick. And Miami's like, no, this is kind of a situation. We're good with him, and I really don't even see the need now that I see the Teron Armstead deal. They've got like $13 million in cap space or $10 million in cap space. The rookie class is going to cost them $3 million. They're going to have the extra 10 that they like to keep. There's no urgency or immediacy to making a move. It doesn't really benefit you. So I think, and can we name 4? Can we name 4 receivers that are without a doubt great, good? Tyreek, Waddle.
No, that's it. But I mean,
Gesicki, I'll throw that in there.
Well, yeah, he's a great pass catcher as a tight end. Yeah, hell yeah. In this league.
So
But
why not keep Devante? I've
yeah.
said that from the very beginning. It doesn't make sense to cut Devante when he's being paid like a backup.
No, I get you what you're saying. I'm just saying that down the line, if they run into the option of getting a guy that can be a two-way player for them and hold that same spot, that's what I'm saying that may be. And here's the other thing. Let me run this by you, which is a crazy, crazy out left field bullshit that I'm about to run through you because crazier things have happened. Dude, what happens if the light actually goes on for Preston Williams?
Oh, then bye-bye,
Then
Devante.
Exactly. Then there and so
Yeah.
you must protect yourself from you may run into a gem in the draft in the 3rd, 4th rounds.
Preston's way more talented than Devante. And I say
yeah.
this. I say
No.
this.
No,
If
I know
I
what you're
didn't
saying.
see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it.
Nobody argue that. Nobody argue that.
If I didn't see it with my own physical eyes, these things, I wouldn't believe it. But Preston's a monster.
The last time Devante was at that level, he was in Louisville.
Probably.
You know what I mean? So, no, I'm with you 1,000% on that. But if somehow or another
you can't connect to Preston up here, and they just can't. No, now who knows? Maybe Mike McDaniel could watch this guy, and maybe Wes Welker could watch this guy and figure out how to reach him. I've heard great stories about quarterbacks and wide receivers. They're playing their own 2-man game, and I think Tua has the ability to do that. And so, maybe he doesn't have to learn the entire offense. I can't explain to you what happened to Preston outside of
Rashard Perriman does not learn the entire offense. Rashard Perriman's only used for certain routes. No, I'm just telling you. I watch the games. I can see the routes he runs. He does not run the entire route tree because they don't trust him to run the entire route tree.
He's in Tampa now.
I forgot where he's at now, but he's running a 9 route. He's running a comeback. He's not running the entire route tree. It's just the way it is because he's kind of been that player that he's not used in that sense. And by the way, there's no shame in that. He's not the first guy that's been a situational player.
It wasn't a entire route tree guy.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So
he might still be playing in the league.
Yeah, he had a great career for himself, dude. I mean, please. Lots of players have been like that. So
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Devante. I'm not really stressing about it. I don't really care. I'm more fascinated by them basically, them thinking that adding and retaining everybody on defense of the 15th and 16th best defense in the NFL in yards and scoring is going to make them good. And I'm like, okay, just keeping everything status quo. I'm like, nah, that ain't working for me. That's not flying for me. That don't pass the sniff test.
Go ahead. What are you saying?
I'm like, am I the only person who noticed that they weren't very good?
Right.
at key points of last year, this wasn't like the 2000 team. I mean, the 2000 team didn't even have the same players. So unless you're adding Kyle Van Noy back again, it's re-signing Kyle Van Noy, like, I don't know, bro. I don't see it.
All right. Did Chris Greer basically tell everybody, call me, I'm trading Dieter? Or is he just...
No, he's saying we're keeping Dieter. We're just getting him competition. Dieter has value. Everybody's trying to get Dieter. Okay. Like, even though the last coaching staff couldn't find a purpose for him, people in the league like him.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought he made a really good point that he's only played a few games at center. It's not like he's been there for years.
Yeah, but he's tell me the game. Tell me the and I'm not disqualifying what he said. But tell me Dieter's best game. There hasn't been one.
No. There's not a game that I sat there and I said, whoa. But there were games where I said he wasn't a liability and he wasn't really at least
but it's like it's a crapshoot. It's I mean,
you gotta think this. If people are trying to trade for him, if they're not really getting rid of him, then the guys that I actually know off, because I trust these guys for offensive line at least. You know, Frank and McDaniel. Applebaum is just moving up to this level, so I'm not exactly sure about his resume. But the other two guys come from successful resumes of knowing, so they must have seen all the film. And so you think about it, they only added 2 veteran linemen. So they're looking at their other 5 young guys going,
how many more did you need?
They'll fill those. That's what I thought was perfect. I just wanted 2.
2 is a good amount.
2 is great because I figured that the 5 you drafted, they can fill 3 spots.
Absolutely.
Because if you're a good front office, out of those 5 guys, you're supposed to hit on 2 or 3.
Absolutely.
I mean, you get to 4 or 5, you're one of the greatest front offices.
Not only that, but I think Robert Jones is, the way people were talking about Robert Jones at the end of the year, and he started the last game. Hell, I teach him how to snap. He might be your starting center.
You never know. And that's the other thing. Dieter might be better in this scheme. I'm not smart enough to see it every day. When I start seeing it every day, then I'll try to figure things out. But that's the other thing. He
played in this scheme in college, which is, I would have to tell you, if I love Dieter and I don't remember.
They run a wide zone in Wisconsin. I didn't know that. Okay.
With what's his name? The back.
Bielema? Was it Bielema then? No, it wasn't Bielema.
I don't remember the back, the tailback.
Oh, the back. Yes. Yeah.
Listen, Dieter should be fine. Like he's a professional. I like Dieter as a person. I just need to see him play like, my career's on the line, which it is. He's in the final year of his contract. You can either be an NFL starter or you could be an NFL journeyman hanging on for your career from 2022 on. That's and I love that point. I absolutely love that point of a guy's career. I can tell you that year is where you will get the best out of a guy when he knows the gravy train ain't gonna be pouring forever.
I'm with you there. All right, what are you working on the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out, my friend?
A column on Chris Greer. In fact, what we talked about, how you got to act like you're the head man in charge. This is all on you, and your actions need to reflect that. You can't be taking a back seat to, oh, that's the back that Mike McDaniel wanted. Oh, this is the line.
I agree. I want him to depend more on himself and Marvin Allen and Reggie McKenzie and less on the coach.
You know those individuals because you're around the scouting community. You introduced me to a lot of people I know in the scouting community. The scouting community absolutely loves this staff. Nobody is more popular than Mike than
Marvin Allen.
Marvin Allen. He's Mr. Popularity.
I know.
And people lean on him and rely on him. If Marvin says something, that's the gospel. Reggie McKenzie's like one of the most respected executives in the NFL.
Reggie McKenzie had no business getting fired in Oakland.
Yes.
Zero business getting fired in Oakland.
It's John Gruden, baby. John Gruden. But listen, But
well, Reggie also wasn't going to be a Mr. Take Orders guy too. That's why he also, he picked somebody around him that's going to take the orders because that's what John wanted, and Reggie wasn't going to do that because Reggie knows more about personnel than John Gruden does. So
listen,
whatever.
and that the problem is you have a quality staff. You got to trust in that staff. You got to believe in that staff, and you got to make those calls and follow through with them and tell the coaches this is what you're working with.
Right.
I don't believe in a GM. Oh, I'm going to let him pick his player. Look how that
it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. No, because you're not giving the power to somebody that already is proven, and that's been the problem. Gase and Flo were not proven head coach / personnel guys. So why are you doing this? You cannot do this. You could do it to Jimmy Johnson because he did it in Dallas. I get it now. Okay, yeah. Parcells, I get it. Those people earned the right to do this, but Gase and Flo had not earned that right, and that's where I knew that this time around they weren't going to do that again, and I think they learned their lesson.
Have they?
Yeah, no. McDaniel has had some influence, but I don't think he's making the calls because a lot of them weren't necessarily his guys.
I think they hired. I think that they wisely hired a coach that they knew they can control.
Right.
With a coach that they knew can fix the problems that we have.
Amen. Yes.
And I don't have a problem with that because
it makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense what they're doing. Everything they're doing right now, bringing back the entire defense made sense because automatically, if you learn how to run the damn ball and you got an offensive line and then you're completing passes and extending possessions, the defense will go from 16
I don't
to 18.
think they're good enough at linebacker for this defense.
You're right. They need a thumper in the middle, but the defense will
go. They also need a good outside guy. They need one more.
But the defense will. I think Van Ginkel can be an outside guy, but anyway, the defense will go up 5, 6, 7 spots alone just by being able to possess the damn ball. You know what I'm saying? Less trips out on the defense.
Maybe.
Those things.
Gotta give them a lead.
That's what I think they're thinking of. That's what I'm saying. Hey, we possess the ball. We start getting leads. Our defense will be better, which is true. The defense does play way better with the lead because it gets after your ass. So
yep.
I'm with it. All right, what are you working on the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out, my man?
That's it. Just to call him on Chris Greer. How he's got to act like he's got some stones.
Love it. All right, follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. And catch him here on Friday once again. Oh, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
All right, no problem.
You got it. There you go. That's your EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. Fix my wall.